It's like my worst thing in life. Like it's so hard for me. Okay, but I wanted to say before we're going to talk about what Jeff Hill talked about. So for those of you guys who don't know, you should all know him. You should listen to the National Wake Up Call on Mondays, and he is on it. But it was really cool because our main office is in California, and then the smaller corporate office is in Utah. But he's at that office. So he did like our tour, and he did a little speech for all of us. But for me, one of the coolest things about it was hearing him talk, because if you would have, I taped the ending of it for you guys, so I have to play that. I'll just post it in the team page. But the way he talked about the company and the way they care not only about us, but about their actual products that they're putting out, like they fully believe in it and they want us to be successful. Like his face when he was talking, you could just tell the passion that was behind it. Like he really wants everyone to be healthier, but they also really want to give people like a different way of living and give people this freedom. And he was saying how there's coaches that come in because they work with different coaches. As you go up, you start working, like there will be someone that works with you when you're 2-star to 5-star, and you have like a direct person that will always be working with you. Then once you get to 5-star to like 7 or 8, then there's another person. So it's all broken down, and it's all broken down by regions. So once you're at 2-star is really when you start getting that extra help from corporate, because they want to make sure you're really doing well. And the reason they start then is that's when they really know, like, these people are serious. They want to help as many people. They're investing in this. They're, really committed. And then they start taking a lot of time to make sure, you're doing your legs right and you're making the most that you can make, and also helping people the most that you can help them. But Jeff Hill was just like amazing. He is a dad. He has kids. He was talking about his daughter who's a coach, and he's like, she puts up a post one day and it was the worst post ever. And he was like, why are you my daughter? Because she did one of those posts that like everyone knows you're not supposed to do, like pretty much like, when you see those posts like drink Shakeology or buy this, it was that kind of thing. Like, I love it, so do it. And he was like, I just read it thinking like, no, why are you doing this? And so just hearing him talk to me was like really awesome, because not many times can you say like in your company that they truly care about you. They care about you, and they care about everything, that's all the people that they're helping, and they just want to help more and more people. And that's why they come out with new programs. That's why they switch things in the shakes or come out with new products. It's to help people get the best results. And it's to help us as coaches give people the best products that we can actually give them. So when you're doubting, when you're like nervous, because we all do that, we start to like, I've gotten a little better with it with Shakeology. We start to doubt like, okay, well, it's $100, so I can see why people don't want it. But if you stop looking at it that way and you start looking at it, I don't know if any of you guys saw, this girl that's one of my challengers, she posted on her Facebook today, and she didn't even tell me she was going to post this. I knew she liked the shake. She's been drinking it she actually didn't even order the shakes through me, but she ordered the shakes through someone else and wanted to be in my challenge group. So I put her in my challenge group, and she made a whole statement today on her Facebook page about like, I have my shake and I drink it, and it has helped with my anxiety so much. And she goes into a little more detail. And I saw that post while I was scrolling through, and I like reposted it on my page, because the value that's in those shakes, there's so much. It's not about losing weight, but it's also about the anxiety and the depression and your overall health, and how all of those things going into your body just make you feel healthier and happier, and they help in your everyday life. So when you're posting about Shakeology, stop worrying so much about the price, because when you're worrying about it, it shows. And I even know for me, there's days that I'm like, I used to do it all the time, like, okay, I get it because it's expensive. And now I'll openly say, like, I think it's stupid when people are like, okay, I'm not going to pay $4, because I'm like, all the things we spend money on. And if you knew the value of this, if you knew how good they are for your body, but people don't. And a lot of people don't care to get to know that. They're just like, it's expensive, not doing it, but yet I'll go buy a $400 purse. Well, you could have drank Shakeology for 4 months. So for me, I started to realize that. And I think having confidence when you're posting, remembering why you're drinking it. Don't just post about shakes, but talk about it. for me, the anxiety thing is where I honestly can relate to the shakes the most, because I used to have horrible anxiety, like to the point that I would want to wake my parents up when I was sleeping, and I would cry all the time. And I sat in my doctor's office at one point and was bawling my eyes out because I was like, I need help. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And I went to him and like was so lost. And then 2 months later, I started drinking the shakes, and they helped so much. I can't say that I don't get anxiety at all anymore, because there's still days I get it, but it's nowhere near what it was before. So for me, that was a huge thing. So when I'm sharing, that's something I can share. But if you're not someone who had anxiety, then that might not be what it helps you with. But try to think about what it is helping you with, and so that it relates to you, because there's so many benefits in it, and it's helping people in different ways. And you have to share the reasons that it's helping you specifically, because then you're more passionate about it when you know. If you're just sharing it because you're like, oh, I'm supposed to make a post, so I'll make it about my shake because I have nothing else to post. Well, that shows to other people. It's not adding any value. It's like, okay, she needed to make a post today, so here's her Shakeology. But when you're talking about the things it does for you, a lot of people just think it's a protein. And people don't realize, like, there's so much more behind it. So knowing that we can stand behind these products, and our corporate office stands they're so strong. Like, their beliefs and everything that they're doing are so strong. And hearing them talk about it just made me walk away like, I don't know why I ever doubt any like selling the challenge pack. I don't know why I doubt anything with these programs, because they do work and they change lives. And the corporate office just being there, it just made me more aware that these products are awesome, and I need to stop doubting it too. But then Amy, okay. And he went into this whole story, so she's going to go into that.
Yeah. So it was actually funny because I think I was the only person in the room that actually had seen this video before, but it's because back in September, Jeff Hill came to Chicago and did like a whole leadership training. But he showed this video. It was called The Law of the Harvest. It's like a old documentary, like 20, 30 years old, about potato farmers. And it's just a documentary about potato farmers and what they do. And so we watched it. It's like 5 minutes long. And then we had to like kind of pull like the tidbits and stuff from it. But some of like the big things that I took notes on that I thought like totally applies to like what we do as coaches and stuff like that were like potato farmers have to, like, they prep the soil for like 3 years before they even plant their crop. So like they're doing stuff to like prepare the soil for years, and then they have to plant their crop, but then they have to continue to take care of it. Like they have to cultivate it, and they have to take care of the land and all that. And they're doing this, and they're prepping this for like 3 to 4 years to only get a few weeks of harvest out of it. And they're doing all this so that they have like a premium crop so that they compete with other people. And it takes like daily efforts. What was some of the other notes? And then there was like a couple other things, like you can't control like Mother Nature, like things happen, life happens, things get in the way, things go up and down, you know. In potato farming, there's storms, there's freezes, there's all kinds of things that happen. You can't control those things. All you can do is like do what you can control and just like work with it and work around it and kind of like roll with the punches and just keep going. What was the other big thing that, no, I only took like.
They also said like build that product. So when he was doing this whole potato thing, he had to build a product that's gonna be an awesome product that people are gonna come back to you because they're gonna hear like these potatoes are the best potatoes and they last longer or whatever. When you're building your business, you have to be willing to build yourself. That's like the main thing. That first year, you're really building yourself. You're building your brand. You're letting people know the results. You're staying consistent, and you're doing your personal development, doing your workouts. You're doing all that stuff so that you brand you. Because you're the product that people are looking at. Yeah, we have Shakeology and we have the other products. But when people are coming to you, they're coming because to them, you're the product. They're seeing what you're getting out of this. And it takes time, because just like a potato, you can't grow these potatoes in one day and be like, oh, everyone wants my potatoes. You have to brand yourself and do it and give it time. It's the same with us as coaches. You have to give it time for people to see, like, she is doing this. It's changing people's lives. It's changing her life. She's sticking with it. and you eventually have an awesome product, you know, a few years down the.
And the other thing they talked about, like the guys in the video were talking about how, like, you know, new technology comes out all the time to, like, you know, that's supposed to help you grow potatoes and whatever. But like new technology never substitute for just like sound decisions and being prepared. And I just like, I took that both ways, like two ways, because one, it's like, it kind of tells you like there's no quick fix. There's no easy way to lose weight or get fit or whatever. Like you have to do, it's daily. You have to make smart choices. You have to, you know, eat right. You have to do your workouts, whatever. That's one way. And then as far as the business goes, like there's no like fancy new way to like attract people or whatever. Like I think sometimes it can get overwhelming with like all the different apps that are already used and the different trackers that are already used and stuff. Like don't let any of those overwhelm you. Find what works for you that you can be consistent with, that you are going to like use to the max every day, and work with that. Make good decisions, figure out what works for you, and just do that, because there's like don't try to reinvent the wheel. Like you hear that a lot in the trainings. Like one, like there are people that have already done this. So listen to what they say, take what you can from them, figure out what works for you and do that. Like, don't feel like you have to constantly like try new things or, you know, because one person really rocks Instagram, that doesn't mean you have to. If one person, you know, uses Twitter like crazy, doesn't mean you have to learn all these different social medias. Like find the one that works for you and work that one every day and be consistent in that.
And you guys have to remember, you're the CEO of your company. So you guys are all part of Livin2beFIT. And, but you guys are the CEO of your own company. So the way you guys might not like the way I do something, and that's okay. That's completely okay. But, I don't know. I forget who, there was something recently, someone, I think, who was it? Was it Carly? Is she on the call?
Yeah.
I think it was Carly who said something, and I was like, you must hate me because I don't know if it was being disorganized.
She was organizing like all these meal plans and stuff like that and saying how she wanted to get organized, and you were like, oh my God, I'm
like, you probably hate me. But there's things that are different, and that's okay to be different and do stuff your way. But when you're doing this, sit on these calls and listen to things that we're teaching you. But also remember, you're your CEO. So how you want to run your business and you want to run your team, start thinking about it now. Even if you don't have team builders under you yet, it's your business. When anyone goes to start a business, they don't start a business and everything goes perfect and they have all the money to do all the things they want and they get everyone right away. It takes time to build that. And like they said, you can't succeed without hard things in this company. You can't expect to be a top 10 coach or be 15 star when you're just starting off. You have to put the effort in. It's not just going to come to you. People aren't just going to be like, oh, this girl's a coach, so now everyone in the world is going to come to you. You have to be branding yourself, and you have to be willing to go through the hard times. Just to, like, if you went and opened a clothing store or you went and opened a dance studio, it takes time. My sister opened a dance studio. You know, her first year, she had a certain amount of people, not a ton of people, and then it grew the second year and the third year and the fourth year. And that's what it is. She started her business and then she kept growing. And as more and more people joined in and found out about what she was doing, the more people that told other people. And then that led to other people and other people. That's the same way in this business. So I don't want you guys to sit and think like, okay, well, I'm doing this and I'm just a coach. Even if you have no one under you yet, when you sign up to coach, you sign up to be the CEO of your company. You sign up with your own goals. And you get to decide how far you can go. Beachbody is amazing that any of you guys can pass me. You can say, I'm going to be 10 star, and you can work your butt off and get to 10 star if you want it. There's no reason you guys can't pass me because I'm just like all of you guys. And you just have to be willing to say, okay, I want this and I'm doing this, and decide how much you want, how fast you want to go. But don't forget that this is your business. We had someone come and talk to us about taxes, which I'm going to type up something for that for you guys just because we already did taxes this year, but I'm also going to put it in our files. But a guy came and talked about taxes, and then I had asked Micah's husband, because when they go out for dinner, they can use it as a tax write-off. So I had asked, okay, so when me and my boyfriend go out for dinner, can I use it as a tax write-off? He said, as long as you talk about Beachbody, yes. So if you talk about Beachbody at any point during your dinner, you can use it as a write-off. Hint, everyone should be save me the receipts anytime you go
going
for
on
dinner.
dates anymore. You're going on business
You're
meetings.
going on business meetings because you're the CEO of your company. So then I also asked him, because I was a bartender, so I have dealt with many situations where like people come in on a corporate credit card and then you have to take their drinks off and do food on one check since usually drinks aren't covered. So I'd asked him, okay, if we have drinks, does that need to be on a separate tab? And JD once again told me, you're the CEO of your company. If you are saying as a CEO, I'm taking people out for drinks and sitting down and having dinner, that's your decision as the CEO, and that it can go as your tax write-off. So that was like also another eye opener for me, is like, you're seriously allowed to make the decisions in your business, what you're doing. Makeup and hair and mirrors and all that, clothing. Even for my boyfriend, I run his account. So anytime he does any of that stuff, that all goes in tax write-offs. But just think about it that way. Always remember, because I wasn't even remembering that. I did mine and my boyfriend's taxes, and I didn't save any dinner receipts. I never even knew that would be an option. But when you're the CEO of any company, people take clients out for dinner and people go out and talk about their business at dinner. So you can save all of that stuff and use it when you go to do your tax write-offs, which was huge for me because that was something that it literally never even crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any questions so far?
Can you hear me, Jesse?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see Micah's post today? She shared a post
about the coach?
Yeah, she shared a post from another coach who had the picture of like her 3 teenage daughters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I thought it was really awesome.
That was a really cool.
It was like these 3 teenagers had the foresight to see that, you know, one of them had joined color guard at a young age, one of them had started dance at a young age, and it took them maybe 6 to 9 years to get their toe shoes or to get, you know, advanced to the next level. But they realized that you can't expect these things overnight. And it kind of reminded me of what you guys were talking about, you know, the training that you guys went through. It was really awesome. I'll have to share it with the rest of the team.
Well, that's another thing. Facebook is the highlight reel of people's businesses. So when you're looking even at like Micah's, you know, Facebook or Ashley's Facebook or any of the top coaches, like you're seeing the product of all the work that they're doing behind the scenes. Like, I think for me this weekend, one of the biggest things was sitting when they did like because Micah and Ashley and Jalen is another top coach on the team. They all had their husbands there. And the first night they had them all sit down as couples and talk about the business and like how the guys factored into the business and just what their lives are like. And like these couples all struggled through the beginning of the business because they had to work so hard to build their businesses to the point that they were spending so much time, like the girls and the guys too, because the guys, you know, JD actually probably took the longest to get on board, which was I think the funniest.
His wife was making the most.
And making the most money, but JD took a long time to get on board. So they made, like, Micah had to make a lot of sacrifices to get her business to where it was, and it was definitely a struggle. But like you don't see that on Facebook. Like they had to put in a lot of hours. Like Ashley still works a ton. Like she puts in a lot of hours every single day and is, you know, they all sacrifice sleep. They all sacrifice time with their kids. They all had to figure out their lives to work around this business in the beginning so that now that they could have the freedom to, you know, take vacations and kind of do what they want. But, and it took a while, like, and they're still going to have to continue. I mean, for them, like Micah now is probably to a point where she can kind of kick back a little bit and relax, but she still has big goals. Like she still has a lot she wants to do with the business. So she's not slowing down anytime soon, but everyone else, like it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of time and like everyday work that people aren't going to see. Like nobody's going to see them up in the middle of the night, you know, we're figuring out trainings and talking to coaches and talking to new people, or, you know, spending time with their kids because their kids aren't sleeping and then they have to get up in the morning and do their workout and continue to work and do stuff. Like you don't see any of that. You see the highlights. So that's like a really big thing to keep in mind when you're looking at these coaches. Like use them for inspiration, but just remember that they put a lot in behind like their beautiful, awesome posts about how great their lives are. So
And also, you guys, I know that there's filters for everything and there's apps that you can change so much about your face.
Yeah.
Do not do those way too much. That is one thing that I saw at the retreat is people edit
People
photos.
look very different in real life.
There are girls that I thought were like so gorgeous every day, like beautiful makeup. And then I saw them and I was like, that doesn't even look like you. And you wear so much makeup. But just don't edit your pictures to the point that it's not you. That you can edit your pictures if you want to edit them. But if you're not being yourself anymore, like, I don't know. I guess that was one thing I did find a little bit weird was I was like, okay, people edit pictures way too much because you're not even being yourself anymore. So be you and just accept you. Like people get pimples or people, don't have makeup on or don't have perfect hair days. I mean, like me, I look like I have no hair right now. And pretty much I never do my hair. I literally, for the photo shoot, I told Frankie, I sent him like a screenshot of my Facebook because he doesn't have one. And I was like, okay, seriously, almost 300 people like this picture. Never in my life have I gotten that many likes. And it's because I have makeup on and did my hair. I'm like, maybe I should start getting dressed and like doing something with my face. But that will never happen because that's not me. So just be yourself. I know you sometimes look at top coaches and a lot of top coaches edit photos like crazy, but at the end of the day, like to me, that's so much work. I would rather people just know like, this is me, this is who I am. Like I don't have this perfect life. I don't have this perfect skin every single day. Like this is just who I am. And I think you're going to be more successful in my opinion, if you're just being who you are and like accepting it. No one's perfect. Everyone has flaws. But don't be that person that when people come and see you, they're like, okay, you look nothing like your picture, because then that's just awkward.
And it's like if you put that precedent out there, like then you have to keep that up forever. Like if you're doing this business in the long haul and you put out there that you have perfect skin and your hair always looks perfect, then you're doing that forever. And that's just not reality. And eventually you'll have the day where you don't want to get ready and you don't want to. And then, I mean, people who follow you, I mean, people are brutal. And if you all of a sudden one day show up not looking great, I don't think it's going to, it's just not going to work in your favor. Unfortunately, if you put out there this perfect image all the time. So. And
really try to, anytime we have events, even Super Saturdays, try to find people in the group that if they live by you to go, or even if people you guys can go for dinner. You guys can hang out as a team. I know we're all in different states, so if you're by someone, then do that. But you can even try to find coaches that are by you so that you have people to meet up, even if they're not on your team. I do know a lot of coaches between Nashville and this last trip all over the United States. So if you don't have someone that's close by, let me know and I can try to figure out where a coach is that's close by. Because even if she's not on our team, she'll want to get dinner with you and sit and learn from each other. Going to retreats, going to Nashville, those events, honestly, you walk away like a different person. You walk away with confidence and with inspiration, and you feel so much better. Like you learn a ton, but you just learn a ton about all different people too. And no coach is like, oh, I'm on this team and you're on this team, so we can't work together. Everyone really just wants to like give each other information and all keep moving forward, because it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt me. Like, for instance, if Amy all of a sudden becomes 10-star, that's not going to hurt me. I would be happy for Amy. So just know in this business, everyone wants to move forward and be happy. And if you have a chance to go to these retreats, if you have a chance to go to the conference or go on trips, take those chances, because you will be amazed at how much you walk away and you're like, this was amazing. And you just like reflect on it. Like, did this really just happen? Because never did I think I would be sitting with like 60 girls enjoying 4 days. Like I would have thought that would be the worst time of my life.
In a beautiful place.
It was awesome.
It was so fun.
Yeah. And you really, really get to know people. So being at events is huge, and you really want to try to get to them. Then for those of you guys, some of you guys are in the diamond training, but I'm going to announce it even if you are not in the diamond training. My coach, Ashley, is going to do a mini retreat. It's not going to be anything crazy, but it is going to be in June. And she is just doing it at her house, and then there'll be a photo shoot like we did on this past retreat in Utah. She lives in Atlanta right now, and you have to be diamond to go. So she is opening it up to anyone on this team too. So if you guys are on this team, you are going to be able to go if you get to diamond by then. But it will be like a weekend retreat, nothing crazy, but she's super excited about it. And it'll just be a time for people to hang out. Then I wanted to try to do a retreat in August, but I don't know if this is going to be like too many retreats going on now because of the June, and then we have Summit in July, and then August. So I'm thinking about it, but what I was thinking is I wanted to rent the house for you guys, and the requirements of it would be you would be able to go as long as you're Emerald, because I want the majority of our team to be there so that everyone can really meet each other. But it would be a little different. So the diamond, I think, would come for free maybe. The diamonds would come for free. You guys would pay for your plane tickets. I'm going to pay for the house. But then emeralds, we might say, like, because I really want you guys to try to push for diamonds, so I don't want to just be like, hey, here's the retreat. You don't have to do anything. I would rather have you pushing for something. But so emeralds would pay something. Just I wouldn't try to make it crazy. Because the one thing about Utah, with plane tickets and stuff, plane tickets to Utah are extremely expensive for whatever reason. So that part of it was hard. But I do want to do something like that. So I'm trying to figure it out. Does the end of August or beginning of August work for any of you guys?
Not the beginning, Jess. We're going to Nashville at the end of July.
So more towards the end, right?
End or maybe beginning of September.
Okay.
It'll be warm by you still.
Yeah, it will still be warm by me. And if you guys don't know, I live like 15 minutes from downtown Charleston, and then I live 45 minutes from the beach. So like we would pick you guys up from the airport and then take you to the house, and we would like grill and do all the food and stuff, and you guys can drink at night. So pretty much all you guys would be paying for are your plane tickets. But then we would do some team building stuff, and then we would also do some photo shoots at the beach, because I would try to get a house on the beach. Middle of August. Our school year starts end of August. Okay.
Summit. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, so that's in the plans right now for that. And I don't know how I know from Illinois plane tickets aren't that expensive. I've never looked from anywhere else, but I know from Illinois plane tickets are never more than $300. Usually you can get them for like $230 is what I usually fly. But I just think it'd be fun to have everyone together if we can do it and just have a weekend to hang out. And plus we need some team photos with all of our team. Because that was the one sad part about being in Utah is it was awesome having Amy there. And it was awesome for me because I had been to Nashville, so I got to experience this, but to watch Amy be able to experience it and like get to know all these girls and even just to sit in that first thing when everyone's talking and telling their stories. I had done that, so I knew a lot of those girls' stories already from Nashville.
I cried like every other minute because people are crazy and tell crazy stories.
I know, like seriously, like when you start crying, it's like emotional, like over and over and over, but it's just really awesome. And you really start to understand like there's a whole Beachbody culture, and you'll see it every time you go to events that people really just like enjoy each other. And how long is the drive from Illinois? It is 13 hours and 54 minutes. My daughter refuses to say it's 14 hours, so she always tells me it's 13 hours and 54 minutes instead of just saying 14 hours. Like she will not admit that it's 14 hours. But yeah, that's what it is. And it's actually not that bad either. The drive is pretty decent drive. And if you leave at like 6 o'clock, and I drive straight through, so I'll leave at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I get there by the nighttime. So it's not bad. But yeah, so that's that. But really, so just make sure you guys remember you're the CEO. Remember this is your business, and the first year is going to be tough. It's not. It's like that no matter what. And you guys are all capable of doing this, but you have to just know what you want and what you're willing to give. And once you make that decision, write it down and keep it so that you know. Because I know I thought about a lot of the goals that people had after New Year's. And I'm like, a lot of us didn't hit those goals that we wanted, or we weren't hitting Success Club, or we weren't bringing on that many coaches. And I think it's because we set them, and then you set these goals, and then you try to just go live everyday life. That was one of the things they talked about, is you'll set these goals and you're like, okay, I'm going to set these goals, but then you don't do anything differently to get to those goals. You're like, okay, well, I'm still doing the same exact thing that I was doing, versus saying, I set these goals, now what do I have to do to get there, and taking that on. Because if you're just doing the same thing, so if you're not hitting Success Club right now and you have a goal of diamond, realistically, you can't get to diamond without hitting a Success Club. And you need to have actions that are following you to where you want to get to. And it's going to be different for everybody. So just think about that this week. I do want to know that. And then also the training, I'm going to catch up on everyone's, because that was probably the worst week for me to give you guys all that training. You guys had tons of videos, but I also was like flying and doing all that stuff. So I'm going to go back and read it. Are you guys liking that training? Is it helpful? Has anyone started it?
Yeah, they're all nodding.
It's helpful. Okay. I'm hoping that it's helpful. And then just to get people started right, because we really want coaches to just get started strong and have that and then jump in. Also, I am almost done with the Google Drives. For sure by Sunday, that should be open. And then you guys are going to be able to download the Google Docs app, and you will be able to have tons of files. I'm still working on it because it takes forever for me. It would, if Pam was doing it, it would be super easy because she knows what she's doing. But I knew nothing about it. It was just the point that we needed it. So I have a lot of documents in there, but it will have like where to go for Shakeology, how to get people started right, different conversations. It has tons of meal plans in it for 21-day fix, tons of information just about how to conversation start and all different things. Pretty much anything you're going to need about the business is in different files, and it's going to be really helpful because then when you guys need something, you're going to be able to go and click it, and all you'll have to do is click edit. Or no, you'll first make a copy. So you'll always go make a copy, and then once you have the copy, you can edit and put your information in right there. So it will switch, and you'll be able to send that to someone, and you'll start your own drive. So I think it will be really helpful just to have everything in one spot, and you guys will know where to go then. That should be ready by Sunday.
Pam, you'll be really happy because it seems like coaches are really switching to Google now. So I've seen a lot of like Google Forms instead of Woohoo.
Yeah, it's just easier to use because everything is all in one. Well, for me anyways, everything is all in one place then.
Yeah.
And if you have questions on it, you're going to have to ask Pam because I will not be able to answer your questions on this at all. I put it together, but that's like, it took me a while to even do that. So if you do have questions, it's going to go to Pam. But for the most part, is all you have to know to do is you need to click on the document and then make a copy. That has to be the first thing you do because we don't want you to change my copies. So you'll always make a copy and then you're able to edit. So it's pretty simple once you get it, and then you'll be able to keep going forward.
I was going to say too, you don't have to make a copy if you don't want to edit.
Yeah, if you don't want to edit, you can just use mine automatically. Just some of the stuff, like I have my information in it, because if it's something you are sending someone, then that stuff you'll have to switch and put yours in. That's why you'd make a copy. But then it has all different stuff. It has stuff about going 5-star, about being elite. It has all different things. It has training videos in it. So it's going to be pretty awesome for you guys. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that's it. Amy, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I'm just going to reemphasize like getting to live events no matter what they are. If it's a Super Saturday, if it's any other random training, like I said, I saw the Jeff Hill thing before because it was a random training that got offered in Chicago and I went. But live events make a huge difference. Like just for yourself, just like meeting people and like realizing that all these people are like truly real people. Like I said, everybody looks different in real life. Everybody like acts different and speaks a little differently in real life. But like one of the coolest things was just like we'd be sitting around and we would be like talking about anything, and then like you'd segue into Beachbody talk and then segue back out into real life. And like just like I think for me it was just so cool to see how much Beachbody is just so much a part of these people's lives. Like it's not just this thing on the side, like for a lot of, you know, for a lot of us. Like if you're doing these programs and drinking your shakes and working this business every day, like Beachbody is a big part of your life, and it's not just this thing that's over here. Like, and I don't know, that was really cool to just kind of see how easily like everyone kind of segues in and out of talking the business and like giving each other tips. And people are very, very open to talking about, you know, their own business and giving you tips and sharing. And if you meet somebody that's not, then that's not someone you want to be talking to anyway. So just move on and find somebody else, because there's no secrets in this business. So yeah, it was really awesome. So make it to every live event you can, like whatever it takes, just get there, because it's totally worth it.
And also remember, Thursday, we have a backstage pass into coaching. So hopefully you guys have been sprinkling coaching in. Pam did an awesome job. Did I post that in our page for everyone?
Which one?
Pam? Can she hear?
Great.
When you did your post, did I share that in our team page?
I
don't know
I don't remember.
Pam did a post and
have.
she sent it to me before she posted it, just to see if that's like the kind of post that she should be making. And it was an awesome post. It was sprinkling in coaching without saying, I have an open house or come coach with me. It was just talking about coaching and tying it in. And that's what you really want to do. You don't want every time you bring up coaching only to be like just the coaching little flyer and then saying, I'm having an open house. You want to be sprinkling it in and talking about the relationships and all of that stuff. And the more you do that, I try to do it every few days. The more you do that, that's what draws people in. It's just seeing that stuff. And eventually you will have people that just by watching your story is what they want. Because you guys, really what your Facebook is, it's really your story. So look at it that way. Every time you post, look at it. You're letting people into your life and you're telling them a story about your life and how you're doing it, and you get to control it. So just really think about that when you're posting. And then obviously Thursday, open house. So I will open that to you guys tomorrow, and then I will post every single hour for that day.
That's good.
Do you have all the videos for that already, or are you just going to use the ones from the last one?
I will do the videos from the last one.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
We're good.
All right. Awesome. That's it. Thank you guys for staying on forever. I know tonight was very long.
All right. We'll talk
But
to you.
all right. Awesome. Hope you guys all have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.